Oh, good morning, everyone. Look at my bag of toast, bag of bread, soon to be toast. I keep peeling them in half, and I just have a bunch of half pieces of bread. By the way, when I was growing up, the piece of bread that no one wanted in the house, my mom would call the brain bread. And when we were really little, she convinced us that this is the bread portion that makes you smart. So I remember being little and be like, I want the brain bread. But really, it's just the worst piece of bread. It was the only way she could convince us to eat it. Kind of funny. I got a tournament here in a couple days, and my knee hurts. And it's very frustrating because I've had this date circled for a while. Basically, since the TBT ended in August, I wanted to take a month and retool my game. So kind of mid-September, early September, and finish up with the guys that I had here, talk to agents, get an idea of what I need to do to put myself in a situation to get noticed. And then it's like, look, you need to have game film. Game film. Not open gym, not pickup, game film. And so this tournament came up. I was like, this is a great opportunity. During that time period of like late August, more like mid-September, like nothing's happening because players are going back to camps, players are getting set up with their teams. So it's like really difficult to find these games. So tournament, lo and behold, tournament comes up in October. I've been working out quite a bit. Nothing too crazy. Working on some stuff. Really happy with how I've been progressing, feeling, and moving. I think it's probably the best athletically, movement-wise, skill-wise I've ever felt in basketball. 2 weeks ago, randomly, my knee just like explodes with swelling. Something must have happened that I wasn't aware of at the time. You know, you can get hit, you can land, you can tweak it. I kind of felt some stuff leading up to it, and I kind of ignored the signs because sometimes you do have aches and pains. You kind of just play through it. And these are similar feeling aches and pains. But it wasn't good. It was to a point that I couldn't play. I couldn't walk, really. I couldn't run. And I was like, I'm 2 weeks out. I think I can get this thing good to go by the time we play. So we fast forward a couple days, and it actually starts to feel a lot better. And I go and play pickup basketball because sometimes doing stuff makes it feel better. I explained this in another video why I did this. Because pickup basketball I play is typically less intense than a workout. If you go do a workout, you're going to do a whole bunch of crossovers between the legs, step backs. And you can do like an hour of reps. In a game, you're not actually getting an hour of reps. You're running a lot, but you only get like maybe 15 reps or 20 reps. And if running doesn't bother it, and it's the hard decelerations and accelerations that bother it, well, then the game itself probably isn't as intense as a workout. Did that, felt fine. Then like 3 days later, 2 days, like I played the next day, then the next day I played a little bit, and all of a sudden just blew up again. Boom. The reality was I never actually fixed the issue. I kind of just like 85%ed it. Stupid, not stupid, I don't know. You're just doing the best you can at the time you have. So then I talked to Dr. Michael Risher, you saw that. Go through my rehab. And then let's go to fast forward to this Monday. This Sunday felt okay, and like I told myself I could probably play if I really wanted to. And then Monday felt better. And eventually Thursday I did my hardest workout full speed, and today here I am at the gym a little bit. Felt it a little bit this morning. Maybe I wasn't warmed up enough. Maybe I'm just overly conscious about it. Point is, it's just frustrating to go into this like not worrying about my skill and my development, but worrying about, is my knee hurting? When it's just not even a major injury. It's just something that's kind of in the way timing-wise because I'm going to play 3 games in one day and a couple of games the next day. And it's frustrating when you work for something like this and people see it on social media and they're like, oh, he's just doing whatever. No, I'm actually working towards it. And it's really frustrating to have this come about because it's not about if I make it or don't make it. I don't really care in that sense. Like, of course I'd like to make it. But I just want to do the best I can do and showcase that. I don't want to just go out there and post videos about basketball clips, and maybe some point in time in my career that becomes part of my life and my journey in basketball. But right now I think I have a lot to give in terms of the actual sport of basketball beyond just pickup. So this is a big opportunity, still going to play. But it's just annoying. And so I've been trying to figure out ways to, I don't want to call cope with it, but when you've invested as much time as I have and as much mental capacity and effort, you've lost money doing this stuff and you've pursued it in a way that's taken away from other things, you'd at least like to see it through, and I will see it through. But it's not fun. I'm going to sit here and say it's fun. It's frustrating. So recently, during this time of hurt, I had more time sitting around doing things like work-related stuff or other things. Point is, realize on Spotify you have audiobooks, and they have a book called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. People like the book, and I've heard a lot about it. It's about stoicism, and it's about basically accepting life as it is and being able to appreciate what occurs, the ups and downs and all arounds, and how if everything matters and nothing matters. Basically has a lot of lines of Zen Buddhism in it, some stuff that I enjoy from a coping standpoint of frustration in a life that feels at times very fast, at times very narrow, and at times very frustrating, especially when you're trying to accomplish something and there's deadlines on things. And you place those deadlines on yourself. So it's a good book for anyone interested in reading it, but it opens some perspectives beyond that as well, of just coping with stuff. And one of the lines, or one of the sentiments of that book itself is just the idea of pursuing something to your fullest and not worrying about what other people think and hear and want from you. And it's tough because I also listened to another podcast recently as well. This is not to complain, but it's for anyone who's on social media. Someone had the line, I think it's Chris Williamson, I think that's his name. He mentioned the line of, how do you change privately when people expect something from you publicly? And my page, thankfully, and on social media and Instagram has never been something so overly curated that I have to maintain some sort of caricature to be myself. It is myself. But I have been sharing that I am trying to play basketball this whole time, and I am trying to play basketball publicly and privately at the same time, doing both to the extent that I can. I can't share all my private stuff because there's not enough time in a day. But the idea that this is real and I'm trying to accomplish this makes the knee issue so much more frustrating, because I'd imagine if I was a caricature of myself, I could go about being that caricature and portraying myself in a certain way on social media. But if I don't have a public and private image that are separate from each other and you just simply see myself as who I am, I think there's a lot of benefits from that for people who make content, because you're not trying to pretend to be something. But then you also feel a lot more vulnerable because you don't have the shield of, this is me and this is my entertainment identity. I don't have an entertainment identity. I make YouTube videos that sometimes don't get any views because I like to make them, and I make podcasts, and I try new projects, and I just like to do things, and somehow people follow along on certain platforms. So it's, I try to share as honest with you as I can, and so I guess this is my honest talk with you about, yes, there's frustrations and being hurt. It's not the end of the world. It's just part of the process. It itself is not a separate thing. It's just part of the journey. And people who go through ups and downs and all arounds, it's all relative. And, in the moment in time that you're in, of course, it's frustrating, but there are times when it's not frustrating. There's times that's enjoyable. So just dealing with what you can in front of you is important. The Meditations by Marcus Aurelius talk about that, and I reference that back again because it is pretty useful for me, at least, to listen to and have some takeaways and see how I can benefit from having a different perspective on life, I guess, or not getting caught up in, feeling pressure to do one thing because myself is connected to my business, which is connected to my social media, which is connected to the opportunities I get. And if I'm hurt or I'm banged up and I can't do what I want to do, is that affecting my career? Is it affecting what I'm trying to do? Is it affecting the opportunities I have? What do people think about me? And all those things. And it's weird because it's easy to do this easier to do the stuff in the shadows when no one's watching to an extent because, there's no criticism, but not even criticism you care about. There's no pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself to go do this, not because of social media, but because I think if I can share this journey, a lot of people have reached out and said it's been super helpful. And I, in a way, don't want to let people down. And so I want to showcase you can at least pursue something to the fullest. So as I get ready to eat my toast and go pick up some groceries from Costco, I figured I'd share that with you guys. A honest update as to what's going on, and I hope to share more in this upcoming couple of days. Appreciate y'all and take care.